Are you frustrated with your external IP addresses changing every time you update your Kubernetes cluster in Google Cloud? You're not alone. Today, we're diving into this common issue and exploring how to tackle it. I completely understand how annoying it can be to have to manually reassign your static external IPs after every update. It feels like a never-ending cycle, right? Many users have faced this same challenge. Let's take a closer look at the specific situation. One user mentioned having 3 nodes in their Google container cluster. They noticed that every time they performed a Kubernetes update through the web interface, their external IPs would change. Sound familiar? Let's find a solution together. So what's happening here? When you update your Kubernetes cluster, it can sometimes reset the network settings, causing your external IPs to change. This is particularly frustrating when you've reserved static IPs. Let's break down how to address this issue. Stay with me. At the end of this video, I'll share a crucial tip that can help you maintain your static IPs through updates, so you won't have to deal with this hassle anymore. To address the issue of changing external IPs during Kubernetes updates, the user should first ensure that they have reserved static external IP addresses for their nodes. This is crucial for maintaining consistent IP addresses. Next, the user should configure their Kubernetes cluster to use these reserved static IPs. This can be done by specifying the static IPs in the node configuration. After configuring the nodes, the user should verify that the static IPs are correctly assigned. This can be done by checking the node details in the Google Cloud Console. Finally, the user should perform a test update on the Kubernetes cluster to ensure that the static IPs remain unchanged. This will confirm that the configuration is working as intended. Fun fact, did you know that Kubernetes was originally developed by Google? It's amazing how far technology has come, but sometimes even the best systems have their quirks. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. One user shared their experience with a similar issue and found some solutions. They mentioned kubeit, which requires a cluster version of 1.10 or higher, but their cluster is on version 1.8. They also noted that the NAT method described in GCP documentation was too complex for them. Their solution involved following the GCP documentation for assigning IP addresses using the command line. They ran specific commands to delete and add access configurations for their instances, which resolved their issue without problems so far. They are open to feedback on this solution, inviting others to share their thoughts. That's all on that answer. Let's take a look at another one. An alternative approach suggests not relying on the IP addresses of individual nodes, as they can change. Instead, you should expose your applications using service or ingress resources. The IP addresses of the load balancers created with these resources remain consistent through updates. You can also associate a static external IP with your service or ingress. This way, you won't face the same issue with changing IPs during updates. For more details, check the tutorial on configuring a static IP address. Here's the tip I promised. Always back up your Kubernetes configuration before performing updates. This way, you can quickly restore your settings if anything goes awry. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to manage your external IPs more effectively during Kubernetes updates. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks on managing your cloud infrastructure.